This time on Flipping Bangers.
Will has a cunning plan.
Why don't we buy a nice little 4x4 and we get our hands dirty?
Hey!
But is this pint-sized off-roader lined with gold?
I reckon there might be a cure to several diseases lurking in that carpet.
Or is it destined to ruin us?
The pickup pipe seems to be stuck on with glue.
I'm Gus Gregory.
And I'm Will Trickett.
Together, we're risking everything to follow a dream.
It's something I've wanted to do for a long, long time.
We've packed in our day jobs
And invested our own hard-earned cash.
as we try to make a living in the cutthroat world of second-hand cars.
It's all in the chase. You've got to buy well, you've got to sell well.
Why would anybody buy this car?
We've got a goal.
We want to double our money. If we put 500 quid in, we need to see £1,000 back. We're targeting the very bottom of the market.
We buy cars that nobody else wants.
Can we keep our business afloat, Flipping Bangers?
It needs so much work doing to it.
1 year ago, we turned our backs on our regular jobs, rented this garage and attempted to carve out a new living by buying and selling cheap cars, and made enough money flipping bangers just to return.
People dream of giving everything up, but we're doing it for real. And it's scary.
We've emptied our pockets again, and this time we have enough to spend £500 to £1,000 on each car. If we want to cover our costs and pay ourselves wages, it's essential we double our return on every pound we put in. And we can only afford 5 workshop days per car. We've swapped a salary and a wage, possibly for nothing.
An empty workshop can't be a good thing, so our job of the moment is to select a car to put in it. But what?
Why don't we buy a nice little 4x4?
That's a great idea. The world and his wife are buying 4x4s, so there's got to be money in a 4x4, hasn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be fun.
Yeah, good idea.
And I can think of a fun way of finding one.
Okay.
Play a little game. So we shout out the names and models of 4x4s and then see if we can find one that we can actually afford.
Okay, can I go first?
Yes,
Lada Niva.
good start.
Oh, I love them. Absolutely love them. But they are non-existent on the market at the moment.
Hold on a minute. None.
Okay, I've got another one. Can I have another one?
Okay.
Okay, Daihatsu 4-track or Sport Track?
Oh yeah, that's good one as well. Like it.
Holy, look at that.
Whoa, well, that's a lot of money. And that one's not even particularly brilliant, is it?
$4 grand. Okay, that's that. Go on, you'll go.
In that case, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Yeah, a Land Rover Defender.
That's never going to happen with our money, is it? That's just never going to happen.
I know. Land Cruiser instead, then.
No, Land Cruiser's the same. Got to be first generation Land Cruiser, but you'll never get one for that money. I mean, we are just going around in circles, really, because that's never going to happen.
It's not working.
Little do I know it, but this game is just a ruse, because Will has had his eye on something all along. One of his mates has a car that's been sitting around in a scrapyard for a year or two, and even though it's not on our dream car list, we accept it's our best lead for now and head over there quickly.
So you're not going to give me any clues about what it is?
Well, the thing is, with an idea that's as good as this one, often it's best just to let you see it, because if I describe it to you, it might unnerve you slightly.
I know exactly your ideas. I know the fantasy that goes on in your head. So I've got this vision that we're going to get there. We're not going to be able to get to it. It's going to be in a hedge. It's going to have been there for 20 years. And you're still thinking that it's a viable project.
It is a diamond in the rough, mate.
Yeah, okay.
The diamond in the rough is owned by Will's pal Loz, who had plans for this car that sadly never came to anything.
Personally, I find it quite exciting. You found the car. I like scrapyards. The only problem is you do tend to keep scrap in a scrapyard, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And this... Well, I think you'll find with this one, it's actually quite a good little number we've got here.
OK, well, it's not in a hedge, is it? That's really good. It's not behind 3 rows of cars, it's just behind 2 cars.
Yep.
They do have a lot of weeds growing out of them.
Yes.
But it's a Suzuki SJ410?
1.3.
1.3,
Yeah.
OK. Excellent.
Which is a really, really hot little car. It's the Samurai model.
Yeah.
So the SJ has been waiting, gathering rock for some idiots like us to come along and show it some love. Is this really the 4x4 of our dreams? Well, no, because Loz apparently wants $1,000 for the Suzuki. We still need to look at it though, and the first step is to drag the rotting car carcasses out of the way. Then our SJ, as a non-runner, gets the same treatment.
I reckon we are good to go there, Loz. You want to give it a gentle move backwards?
Well, the front wheels are rolling.
Lovely. Spinning round.
We finally got access to the SJ.
It was like a ballet, wasn't it? Really precise.
Beautiful, but now this diamond is out of the rough. Oh, look, what a great little thing.
I think you're right. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Gus.
Nice to meet you, Gus.
All right.
Hello, Lance, how's it going, mate? How are
good.
you?
Good.
Cool.
Looks great now it's out, doesn't it?
It's a beautiful little truck.
Yeah.
Pride and joy.
Yeah.
Of a few years ago. But if you are looking for one of these, and they are really sought after, this is the one that you want. It's the 1300 engine,
Yep.
which is better than the 1 litre.
Yep.
Very good off-road.
So what do you reckon the chances of getting it going?
Potentially, the only thing stopping it would be the fuel. The fuel's been in it 5 years.
It won't run on that, definitely.
No, but there's nothing. It's carburettor. You can get a jerry can. I'm sure you can. sort something
Wasn't there
out.
some sort of issue with keys? How's that going?
There is an issue with keys. Unfortunately, I haven't managed to find them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Suzuki can't provide me with the codes, so I've had to buy a new set of locks and keys for you, but they're in the post.
So you reckon it shouldn't take us too long to get running?
I don't think so. No, 20 minutes is a good target, I reckon.
Cheers,
20
mate.
minutes, yeah.
That's a challenge, isn't it?
But it's the kind of challenge we like. I tried to pull the carb off to open the fuel line.
And I indulge in a little hot wiring, since we have no ignition key.
With a battery connected and a little fuel siphoning into the pump,
Right, that's in. You ready to roll?
I am pretty much. I've had to do a small improvisation, so
Okay.
this should try and start. Ooh,
Hey!
Hey! Right, let's sort out that little problem. Ready for round two?
Yeah, go on.
It'll take a moment for the fuel to come up, won't it?
Yeah.
If I pull this pipe off and fuel comes out, like that, then that means it's sucking it to the pump.
Clearly.
So it's just a case of getting it to keep on coming. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
we have ignition.
That's under its own effort now.
But our victory is short-lived.
It's got a bit of a leak in the fuel pump, that's what it is.
Driving the car with fuel being sprayed onto the manifold isn't that bright, even by our standards.
Yeah, it's throwing it out everywhere.
But still, it sounded nice, didn't
It's
it?
running.
Yeah.
Pow!
It sounded really nice, I thought.
It's time to decide. Buy it or bin it.
Well, at least we know it's running, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a real pity we're not going to be able to drive it around.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, and there's so much work to do.
Well, yeah.
Seats are manky, carpets are mouldy, and look at the state of it all. I mean,
But we know, don't we, that this is going to come off. A good jet wash and a polish.
Yeah, it will do. It'll look $1 million in no time at all. But there's a lot of jobs to do on this car.
What do we think then? 500? 400? 500?
Start at 4.
He's never going to take that.
No, he's not.
He's never
But
gonna
we've got
take
to start low.
Okay.
Because he's going to have, he will start at $1,000. Where is he?
Who's in here?
Well, then, heard it running, guys.
Yeah, that's a good sign, and it's almost definitely worth 400 quid.
The wheels?
You know, the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
It's fair to say that that is not worth $1,000.
No, it's a pretty little truck with a bit of jet washing.
Yeah, there's a lot of
polish.
stuff. There's a lot of stuff we've got to do to turn a profit
Yeah.
on. And you think we've got to make a return on it, otherwise there's no point in taking it away, is there?
Agreed. And I do know the market, so we can meet somewhere, but
Yeah.
not £400. Sorry, guys.
500 quid.
600.
600
Yeah.
quid.
I think, personally, 600 seems about right, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah? You're going to go for it?
Definitely.
Nice one, Gus.
Yeah.
Nice one, Will.
Cheers, Loz.
No worries.
Yeah. Given that the wheels alone are worth 300 quid, I think we might have scored a deal and a half.
Actually, hang on, it's got to go over. OK, that's perfect there.
And as part of the bargain, Loz lends us his forklift to get the SJ onto the trailer.
All aboard, one smelly, filthy Suzuki that spits fuel and doesn't run. We're locked and loaded.
Well, yes, I mean, 5 years of sitting around doing nothing hasn't done it any favours whatsoever. I think we caught it just in the nick of time.
I think we'll find things that...
Lurking.
Yeah, there'll be things lurking. 5 years is a long time.
Nasty little things in the shadows that we need to oik out and source out.
We know we have to go into this one with eyes wide open, but the scrappy Suzuki keeps us smiling.
Here's a great big green mouldy hulk that's following us at the moment. I can see it in the mirror. It looks rough, Gus. It looks really
I reckon
rough.
there might be a cure to several diseases lurking in that carpet.
When we're back at the workshop, we put excitement, arguments, doubt and any preconceptions to one side and come at it fresh. What can we possibly do to this stinker of a car in 5 days that'll double its cash?
See, in the cold light of day, don't get me wrong, I like this little car, but I'm not sure it's a very good car, is it?
Well, what do you expect for 600 quid?
I just think financially we have to tread carefully with this car because it's difficult for me at the moment to see anything other than a very, very grubby little car that needs a home. We don't know what's wrong with it, we haven't driven it, and, well, you know, it's difficult to see a way forward other than really just give it a really good clean and see what's underneath there.
We don't really have a plan apart from clean the thing. So that's what we'll do. Let's hope the pressure washer has what it takes to get the job done. I would normally say don't pressure wash the back seats of a car, but these are extreme circumstances. The roof doesn't come off easily, but we need access to the Suzuki cabin, so we're taking that off. And in the name of cleanliness, we take out the seats and the horrible mats. And then she's ready for the workshop. We need to sell the Suzuki straight after it's finished, so the time to do listing is now.
OK, so now the car's clean, but if we do paint it or lower it or change it in any significant way, then the advert that I'm writing now isn't going to be relevant to the car. So I'm going to keep the copy really, really loose so that I can amend it at some other point. I'm going to describe the car as being mechanically sound, running well, and as having an MOT. That would be nice. And if I can pretend that Will's desire to change it dramatically isn't going to be possible, then I'm going to describe it as being of a relatively standard spec. And I've had a look at the market for these cars. It's really, really buoyant at the moment. So I'm going to do a buy it now price of $2,795. I know it seems specific and it seems like maybe quite a lot of money, but I actually think this car's worth it. And I'm going to do a reserve price of $2,200. Starting price, well, standard, £99, just to reel them in. He was clearly having a laugh when he said it stood for 5 years, wasn't he? It's atrocious. It looks to me like it stood for 10 years.
Well, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? But,
It's awful.
I know. Look, I've got the ignition barrel for this, which needs fitting first. So that could be a me job.
Yeah, so we can start it on the key. That would be great, wouldn't it? Well, we know that that petrol pump was leaking through that gasket there, don't we? And I've got a new petrol pump, so that's good.
And if that fuel tank has been full of nasty old petrol for at least 5 years, possibly 10, we should give that a good old pump out. I'm going to get stuck into this ignition barrel.
OK, cool.
The ignition barrel seems almost like a dated concept, but the Suzuki certainly isn't one of those keyless ignition jobs. It's so simple, you just bolt it onto the steering column. Oh, that's typical, isn't it? Check this out. So, the problem with aftermarket parts is Sometimes they don't fit. The ignition part of it all, that works, but the electrical side of it all doesn't fit together. So I've now gonna have to come up with a solution, which I suspect will be me splicing the old plug into the new plug to join onto the existing part of the loom. To test the ignition, Gus has found a battery in the workshop that should work. While I use spade terminals to attach the new wiring loom to the old box connector. Right, I'm all done with the ignition switch.
All right.
We can disconnect this now if you like.
Okay, safety first and all.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And with one step taken forward, I've got the next job in the chain to do.
When we managed to get the car started down in the yard where we bought it, the petrol was pouring out from the two sections of the petrol pump. Basically, there's a rubber diaphragm between the two parts of the petrol pump, which goes up and down and brings the petrol up. And it's obviously perished because the petrol was pouring out. So I'm going to replace it.
Parts for the Suzuki are getting hard to find, but pumps are generic and can be sourced online for £30. Before unbolting it, you have to remove the rubber hoses and then pull off the pump, and the new unit will bolt back in. I use a bit of instant gasket, and on she goes. Of course, I need to get rid of the old fuel, which I do with my tried and tested siphoning. And I'll put a bit of clean unleaded in its place. And after all that, it's time to see, will the car actually run?
Right, okay, well I can't actually reach the throttle from here, but if I do the key bit. Yeah!
It does sound nice, doesn't it?
It's yeah. There's nothing wrong with the engine.
It's not the right carburettor though, is it?
No, it's yeah,
It's a Ford Weber.
Somebody's put something else on there, yeah. That sounds really, really, really nice. But it has been sat around for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's given the oil plenty of time to get really thick.
Yeah, I think
Couldn't quieten everything down.
And once again, our victory is short-lived. Whoa, hold on, we've got a problem. We've got a problem. We've got petrol coming out of the... Oh, loads of it.
Oh.
Oh.
The pickup pipe seems to be stuck on with glue.
That's why it's got this little plate on it. There's been problems.
What, so you don't smell it?
That's... That's awful. So what's happening is throwing petrol out of there should be welded or soldered into the tank and not just stuck in with bathroom sealer.
Yeah. Why don't we just drop the tank out? Because actually, we might have to get another tank, mightn't we?
Well, that's got some serious problems. Oh, no.
That is just stuck
Right,
in.
okay. Right.
I'll drop the tank.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's nice to hear it running, isn't it?
Yeah, good achievement for today.
Still looks awful, though.
Yeah, it does. It's our second day out of 5 on our Suzuki SJ project that we pulled out of a scrapyard and gave 600 quid for. She looks rough, she smells a little, but we're going to do everything we can to make her a stunner.
We're both nervous about the fuel tank, so I'm going to drop it out. First up, I drain out the oil because it's got to come out anyway. Then jack her up, ready for extraction or a world of pain.
Wow, this is the first time we've had the car up. It's the first time I've looked under here. Wow. So when we realised that we had to take the fuel tank out, my heart sank because I don't know if we can find another fuel tank, and it's something that we didn't think we needed to do. It's time we didn't think we needed to spend. But now I look under here, I can see just how much damage is done by a car sitting idle in a scrapyard for, well, 5 years at least. There's rust on every single component on the suspension under here. It's a long way from being a car that someone's going to walk in and say, oh, that's the one I want to buy. We got the engine started, that's really good news, but it's a small step. It's a very small step along a very long journey with this car to get it to the place it needs to be. But we've only got a certain amount of time and we're just going to have to get on with it.
The fuel tank doesn't just drop out. The rear lights have to come out. That's nice.
Ooh.
But all these need to go so I can get access. Finally ready to get the tank out. As I remove it, I can see all the lines out of it are perished. This one is getting a one-way trip to the skip.
So Gus has already drained the oil out of this engine, which is good because it's been sat around for a long time. Give it a good oil change. I'm going to take over on the job. First thing I'm going to do is the oil filter. Now, the oil filter is the sort of thing that a lot of people could easily ignore or forget to change or think they're going to save a couple of quid. It's quite important that you do change it because a fresh oil filter, every time you change your oil, will prolong the life of your engine. To remove the old oil filter, I use this claw tool. Right, that's the old one off. Now, before you fit the new one, it's always worth wiping a bit of oil around this rubber seal. That's not to help it seal, that's so that when it's done up tight against the engine block, it doesn't jam on there. So in the future, when you need to change it, it comes undone easily. I always just use a bit of the old oil off the old filter. And the cherry on the cake is that despite costing several times more in a garage, we got this filter for less than a tenner. Do it up as tight as you can by hand. And then I can top up with a decent quality oil and see if Gus has got anywhere.
So I managed to get a new tank, which was difficult to find, but I got one on the internet. And everybody I've talked to has said the sender unit, which goes in here, is very, very delicate and you will not find another one. So, odds on that's going to end up broken.
The new tank, which cost £150, looks nice and shiny, but I'm going to give it a coat of stone chip to, you've guessed it, to protect it against stones. Here's a job that Will would never do. I scrub up the old tank shield and try and get out the sender unit. A little penetrating fluid. Not with a hammer. And then...
So what do you think? Is that broken it or not? I don't think it's broken.
So my tank is pretty much there. And with the sender unit in, the fuel gauge will work. Now I've learned how to do it, the reassembly isn't too taxing. I get the Suzuki in the air, support the tank, connect up the fuel lines, offer up the shield, and bolt everything up before it all goes horribly wrong.
Well, that's that on, and as it stands, it's the most presentable bit of the car.
While Gus cleans the bits on the car that nobody will ever see, I'm getting the spares that might take a little tracking down. We'll need some U-bolts for the suspension. They're rusted out, so I've come to a main supplier for the Jimny, Suzuki's later car. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi there, good afternoon. I'm after some SJ bits.
We don't tend to do that many SJ parts anymore.
Mel does carry U-bolts and on the way agrees to point out what's left of the UK stock of SJ parts.
We have got some SJ lights if you needed any of those.
I think we're all right for lights at the moment.
Okay.
But, these aren't U-bolts. Ooh, posh differentials.
Yep.
Is this all upgrade stuff then?
Mostly, yeah. We do a lot of suspension lift kits.
Okay.
Big spanners.
Big spanners, they look nice. I could do with one of those.
I know there's bolts around here somewhere.
Well, I'll tell you what, you must have a good memory to be able to remember where everything is in this place. Because I haven't seen you go to a list yet.
Got them.
Is that them? Lovely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's brilliant. We'll have those.
Do you need plates?
You know what, I think we're probably going to be okay.
Okay.
So what else do I need? There's only one area left to try.
Okay, so the only other part we've got for the SJ is the snorkel, and it is our last one.
The snorkel will allow the SJ to breathe underwater, and they look cool. That's a sales technique. I've come across that one before. However, it is rather tempting. Okay. Right, I want one. I definitely want one because I know it's going to make our SJ look super duper. And it's all about style. So, Mel, thank you very much.
No problem.
That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you for all that help. We're going to enjoy all of our bits. See you soon.
Bye.
Mel takes 80 quid for the open box snorkel and 50 quid for the bolts. Items I'd been struggling with.
It's day 3 out of 5 and we're planning to turn a Suzuki SJ into a mini Jeep that'll hopefully grab almost 3 grand. We've spent about £1,000 so far, so we need to.
Hey, all right
aye.
then, Gus. Tank's out then.
Tank's out.
Did the sender come out in one piece?
It came out in one piece, and everyone said they're very fragile. It looked very fragile, but it's in one piece, and it's back in the new tank, so...
That's good news then. That is good news.
What you got?
Well, I got the U-bolts that I went for.
Brilliant. Shall I?
But yeah, well, you can have those, because those are boring. I'm not interested in those.
Snorkel.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That is cool, isn't
It's
it?
groovy, isn't it? I'm going to go and stick it straight on there.
Excellent.
Yeah, good plan?
Yeah.
You're not cross?
Oh, I want to drive it underwater.
Ooh, I got away with that then. Well, Gus pours out his precious new petrol so the tank can be disposed of. I get to play. Right, this is quite exciting. Snorkel time, isn't it? The idea of the snorkel is that it allows the engine to draw air not from the middle of the engine bay, but much higher up. So if you go into deep water, it still runs. The installation kit is pretty comprehensive and includes a template for all the drill points. So even I can get that right. The exterior duct is basically a pipe, and once the hole is made, it can be plumbed in. This is the most important bit to get right if you're having a go at home. The snorkel pipe will be glued and bolted into place.
And while Will adds his cool stuff to our otherwise pretty rough Suzuki, I think it's time for a reality check and to see how our generic advert is doing.
I find this very disheartening, and it's difficult not to take it personally. But because we sell our cars so quickly, we're very, very sensitive to the market. And when we bought our Suzuki, there were none for sale. And now there's 4 or 5 on here, real sheds, that are £300, and it drags the market down. There's also one that's grabbing all the attention on here. It's a real monster, and they want 4,500 quid for it. The bottom line is our ad's not getting much attention. And it's because our car's far from being a shed. Well, it's not that far from being a shed, is it? But let's not split hairs. What it is a very long way from being a really cool little mini Range Rover. And those are the things that are standing out on here. That's the style. And we're still not decided on what we're going to do with the paintwork. But in actual fact, what we need to do is make it incredibly cool, because that's the only way it's going to stand out. And that's the only way we're going to get anyone to bite.
Got a bit of a problem here because this air filter and filter box is from a Honda. The carburettor has got Ford written on the side of it, so none of these bits are supposed to fit together with a standard snorkel kit arrangement that we've bought. So I'm going to have to be a little bit ingenious and change the plan very slightly. So I'm going to ditch this, and I'm going to bypass that area by using the pipes that we've got with the snorkel kits to join that one to this one to this one. Now that gets all of the air from the ducted snorkel system into the carburettor, and I can seal it all up and make it waterproof. But what it doesn't give me is an air filter. So I'm going to have to adapt to the top section of the snorkel itself by putting an air filter into that section there, using the right sort of air filter foam that you can get from, you know, sort of rally shops and stuff like that. And then filter on the top of here, job done. I don't have the filter foam to hand yet, but I do have some super glue and some Jubilee clips to make my Frankenstein snorkel system work. Snorkel is done. But it's too bad that we've got so little to show for our work so far.
Day 4. We've got a Suzuki SJ that is decked out like a mini monster truck. Based on a distinct lack of auction success, we know big things have to happen, and they have to happen fast, as we've only got a couple of days left, and then it's out the door.
I'm still finding this slightly scary, because a car that starts on the key and doesn't leak petrol is just sort of baseline when you're buying a car, isn't it?
It
And
is.
we know that it's the looks of the car that are going to sell it.
Yeah, we also know there's not a lot of time left. We've got to concentrate all of that time on the cosmetics of this. There is just so much to do. Should we have a nice cup of tea to get started?
Once we sample a truly excellent cuppa, we decide to tackle the suspension. The monster look just looks a bit silly.
So the philosophy is simple, isn't it? We've just got to put the ride height back to where it was.
Yeah, just take the axle from beneath the spring where it is now and take it and put it back on top of the spring and bolt it back on with all of this gubbins.
Thus giving us our 4-5 inches maybe of ride height back.
Exactly. And back to how it should be.
So we strip away the main suspension components, which are, of course, covered in dirt and rust. At least they're functioning though, which is something. We want to spend as little as possible, and accordingly, Will didn't bother getting us more plates for the axles, so hopefully the old ones are up to the job.
And once the suspension struts are disconnected, the axles, which have been put on in the wrong place, can be sorted out.
And that's what wily old Will bought the U-bolts for. But it's not a small job, and it takes us most of the day to release each axle.
Here we are, Gus.
What have you got? Oh,
Two
lovely.
U-bolts for you. They're a different
Thank you.
size to these ones. And all of these nice shiny new ones should be tons better than these rubbishy bits of bent threaded bar. The copper slip stops the threads from rusting in the future.
We expected to have to replace some bits, and sure enough, called Will's supplier for new track rod ends and new shocks. Another 200 quid gone west. And after all that time and money, what we're left with looks naked, but it's a great starting point for what happens next. It's going to get a lot better. It's day 5 on the Suzuki. One day left to realise a cool stealth look for the car. One day when a paint job should take a month, but I have a plan. And it involves not spraying paint and using more homespun methods.
Tony, Gus.
How you doing? Gus, nice to meet you. How you doing?
Didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And I need something cheap and I need something fast, definitely.
Yes, we've got just the thing for you, a product called Combi Colour. You can brush it on, it self-levels beautifully, you won't see any brush strokes whatsoever.
That sounds perfect. So, for the side of our vehicles, we don't need to prime it, we can go straight onto what's there, can we?
You can go straight on over an existing paint coating. Yeah, do flatten it down, clean a braid and degrease it, and it will look great.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's for the exterior of the car. And what about our flatbed? You said you had some clever product for that.
Yeah, we looked at a product called Protector Coat for you on that one. This is a very hard-wearing, roller-applied product. Got good texture to it as well, so it's anti-slip. They use this sort of stuff on oil rigs and helipads as well.
Helipads, that sounds like us. If they have colours we like, we'll be in business.
So what have you got?
OK, so we do about 50,000 different colours and some. So we've got a whole range here for you to choose from.
I've got a choice of colours, but there is only really one choice, isn't there?
Have you got black?
Yeah, we do black. Yeah. Do you want matte black, gloss black, satin black? Which one do you want?
Well, we're trying to go for a sort of stealth look, so I suppose really a matte black, yeah.
Yep, we can do that for you. Just on the paint, however, this is the paint you'll be painting your car with. As you can see, it's very flexible as well.
Wow, so that's the exterior paint?
Yep, that's the kiddie.
That's amazing.
And then for the flatbed, this is the texture you can get as well. Again, very flexible, very hard wearing.
Whoa, that's going to look great, isn't it?
Oh, it's great.
Hide a multitude of sins as well, won't it?
Yeah, well, let's go and get you some.
Brilliant.
Time to mix the paint. It never ceases to amaze me that most paint is 95% the same base components. Using the kind of machine you see in your local DIY store, I end up with a matte black tin for the body and super stone chip for the back.
So there you go, all done.
How much do I owe you?
Let's call it £100.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure that you'd paint a Rolls Royce with a roller, but a Suzuki that's going to be ragged round a field, oh, definitely. Will is going to love this.
And my car boot is even the perfect size. I'm going to rush back and get painting.
Now this is the paint of our dreams. It's almost as if they've tailor-made this paint for us.
What, they made it idiot-proof, have they?
Exactly that. they reckon that you can throw it on the car and it self-levels.
Really? Now, that does sound too good to be true.
Should we crack on?
Yeah, defo.
So the harsh reality is that we've got 2/3 of a day to complete everything, including prep.
Some of the paint is a bit more damaged and needs a serious bit of attention. But the body of the Suzuki is surprisingly rust-free, and I can't wait to see how it comes up with our new paint.
I've had an idea of how to make this car really stand out. I'm going to spray the hinges and the headlight surrounds in satin black, which is going to stand out against the matte black of the car.
If you see this technique used on a concept car anytime soon, you'll know it was our idea.
And then it's a roller frenzy. The clock is ticking and the Suzuki is ready to transform.
It's wonderful so far. We even grab 15 seconds rest. But the rear bed is crying out for the next stage of our action plan. The paint goes everywhere, outside, inside. And Will does a deal with Loz to take the old big wheels back in exchange for the original ones, which get painted too.
And then a gift arrives from a lovely man in Scotland.
Is it a huge leg of lamb?
I'm hoping it's the hood for our car, so we ought to be careful opening it with sort of, well, we better not cut it with a knife, eh?
No. Small baby whale?
I don't want to shatter your illusions, Gus, but it really should be The hood for our Suzuki Jeep.
So you think it's the hood for the Suzuki?
I do, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. This is the only black hood we could find in the whole of the UK, and it cost 80 quid.
It's just a way of giving the Suz a bit more of that wind in the hair lifestyle feel, and is the full stop. So the Suzuki is done. We got her started, swapped the fuel tank, lowered the ride, added a snorkel and painted her up. She stands us in for a little over £1,400, and look, what a beast.
When we first bought this, it was a shed in a scrapyard. And when I say a shed, I mean being used as a shed in a scrapyard.
But look at it now, it's great, isn't it?
It's fabulous. The thing I like best about it is the technology in this paint. I love the fact that it's clever. I love the fact that it costs pennies and you can throw it on in a shed. That's right up our Strasser, isn't it?
Yeah, but I love the fact that it doesn't matter what we sell this car for, because we have just done something brilliant with it. It's fab, isn't it?
It is, I agree completely. But
what?
we still don't know how it drives, do we?
No, we don't.
Hey!
Handily, we're at a 4x4 training facility and have a couple of hours to ourselves.
So the perceived wisdom of selling any goods, really, is that if you break it, you buy it.
Yes, that's fair enough, yes.
So what happens if you break it before you sell it?
Well, in that situation, I would say that it would be the responsibility of the nut on the steering wheel, i.e. me.
Okay, so therefore, their business partner, well, his or her business partner, would have to stick their hand in the pocket too, because they built a really cute little off-roader that they can't sell unless they know that it's really good off-road.
This is true, and you know, I sort of hate to say this, but it sounds like we're both in some sort of agreement that we are potentially heading for a fall here.
Whoever they may be.
Heaven only knows.
The Suzuki isn't going to break. It's doing exactly what it's designed to do.
Let's go wading.
Dare we?
We can let this snorkel prove its worth. Right, you ready?
Yeah, go on. Quite as deep as I thought.
No.
It was good for a fear factor.
Felt good though, didn't it?
Come on then, so what's the verdict?
Well, you know what? It's not bad. It will need a bit of a clean because it's pretty filthy at the moment. And, you know, I'm not particularly bothered if nobody buys it, because if they don't, I'm going to keep it.
You are not having this car. We are going to sell this car. Somebody will buy it. It is a very cool little car now.
It is a lot of fun, I can really safely say that.
And although we have a perfect day without breaking the car, we do face up to the fact that even with its new image, the advert doesn't win us the £2,750. And we drop the price to £2,000 for a relist, and that's when we get a visit. Colin knows his way around cars like the Suzuki, but will he like what he sees?
Colin, hello. I'm Gus. Pleased to meet you.
Right.
Hey, Colin, all right, mate?
Colin, you look like the sort of bloke who might be just about to buy our Suzuki Jeep.
I'm actually here on behalf of someone else today.
All right, so but this is the sort of thing they're after, are they?
Yeah, just a toy for the weekends, to be honest, so...
Well, that's exactly what this sort of car does best. A little Suzuki, we're here to make anybody happy. They're brilliant little things.
Quite light, a lot of grip to it.
Yeah, they're great little cars.
You really are.
Yeah, it does look nice.
Hey, are you qualified to buy or just looking?
I've been sent out, but I've only got 1850 on me today. That's all I've been given.
That sounds like a sort of take it or leave it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Which we'll definitely take, won't we?
Okay, lovely
Nice
stuff.
one, Colin.
Thank you, guys.
Nice one, Colin. Hope your mates enjoy the car.
Thank you.
1850 is short of our magic double.
But we made 400 quid and turned a shed into something amazing.
Well done, us.